Back to my mental health and crime channel reacts. This is the case of Jay Slater. May rest in peace. Condolence to his family. I'd like to start by thanking all my subscribers, viewers. I'm really under the weather, so I apologize. I wanted to continue finding answers, the right answers for what happened to Jay Slater. I personally believe it was foul play, and I believe justice should be served. This case needs to be investigated properly. I wanted to know where the rumors of the watch came from. It was said that Mark Thomas, the investigator reporter, found out that Jay stole a AP watch, but yet again, there's no facts on that. But what I find interesting is that Mark Thomas said that he heard from Jay's friends that Jay wouldn't make up such a thing and that it was true. Now my question is, which friends? The friends that are lying? Allegedly? Like Brad, Brandon, and Lucy? Or the two people he met and went to the AMB? That would be Ayub, Qasim, and Rocky. I wonder who gave that information to Mark Thomas. Did they give that information to lead him in a different direction? Because Jay's friends seem to be just blaming Jay all along. Like he was stupid, he was careless, he decided to go with two strangers. They're not taking accountability that they left this poor young man by himself after the festival. They saw the state he was in, but they still decided to leave him there.
About until yesterday. Supposedly Jay pinched a £12,000 Rolex watch just before he vanished.
Yes, so Mark Williams Thomas, who has been investigating the case himself, away from the official investigation, he says he's spoken to a lot of witnesses, a lot of Jay's friends and families, trying to piece together Jay's last movements. Now, he claims that Jay left the Airbnb he went to feeling scared. He said he didn't want to return to it, but he said also in the hire car he was in with two British men after he left the club on the way to the Airbnb, he claims Jay sent a Snapchat saying that he had stolen a Rolex watch. He said he hasn't been able to stand that up officially, like with theft reports, but Jay's friends told Mark that he wouldn't make up such a claim.
Right.
So Jay's friends told the investigator, Mark Thomas, that Jay stole an AP watch. How are we supposed to trust Jay's friends when they keep on changing their story? Lucy can't keep the timeline straight. Brad said in his latest video on TikTok, on a live chat, that he had no associations with Jay.
As far as the sort of investigator is concerned, and he's quite a well-known investigator, isn't he, Jake? That this is something that obviously happened. But the big question in the Sun story today, why did two men take my Jay back to the villa? This is obviously, his dad saying this to your reporter out there. So there's still an awful lot of questions.
Yes, it does feel that way. There's a lot of gaps in the story at the moment. Even Jay's parents are questioning what on earth happened.
Right.
They can't understand why their son, who is just 19 years old, why did he go back to this Airbnb with two men who are much older?
And
one of them was 31.
Right?
Yes, well, apparently the man who has spoken out, the 31-year-old, he said he knew Jay through friends.
Yeah.
Brad, who is Jay's close friend, said last week that they met these men whilst they were on holiday, but it's unclear how well they actually knew each other, so we're not sure why Jay would have gone back with them.
And is the suggestion then, to put the two stories kind of together, that the £12,000 Rolex that was pinched from that place?
Potentially, I mean, we're not 100% sure. The stuff around the watch isn't completely been cleared up. There was reports last week that police were looking into a theft at the club Jay was at of a watch, and they were looking at CCTV and speaking to witnesses, but there's a lot of gaps in that story still.
Yeah, exactly right. Because I got the impression...
Wow, I find that to be interesting. So the Spanish police got a report that there was a theft of a watch at the nightclub or festival, and they were investigating that. I wonder what the results were. Obviously, they're never going to mention it since they closed this case as the accident fall. So if somebody stole a watch, could they have pinned it on Jay so that Jay could be the target of the crime? Or did Jay see the watch himself? Or is this all just a cover-up and they're mentioning a watch to blame it on Jay? Is the question. My focus is personally on Brad, and it's always been on Brad, because Brad was one of the last person to speak to Jay. He took 11 days to do an interview, although he was one of the last people to have seen Jay and spoke to Jay. His mother was running the Facebook group, deleting messages. His mother flew to Tenerife, obviously to support her son search for Jay, and I'm sure to support her son if he had any role to play in Jay's disappearance. Brad had bruises on his face, on his eyes. He had black circles around his eyes, like he's been involved in a fight or he got punched down. Brad is Jay's friend that he was sharing accommodation with. Isn't he supposed to make sure that Jay comes home safely with him? He's busy making live streams, or he was in a live stream yesterday. He doesn't show any empathy that Jay's missing. Why doesn't Ayub Qasim just come and do an interview and get done with it? How well does he know Jay? And why would Jay go with him, above all people, to the mountains of Moscow? Why was Jay so scared and left the AMB, according to Thomas, the investigator actually? Was Lucy May recruiting Jay to work with her in the field of drugs? Is Ayub Qasim involved? And what is his involvement? Allegedly. I've showed you all this picture before, and it's heartbreaking to see Jay in that state. I wonder if Jake saw someone like Tom Hilton there. Did he understand that it was too late for him? Not only does he look intoxicated, dehydrated, he looks scared. He looks shocked, like he saw a ghost. Did he see Tom Hilton? Or did he finally understand, allegedly, what Lucy and Brad was up to? Did Jay really lose a bag with rugs worth 30K? Could that be the reason the GoFundMe was started immediately with a fixed price, 30K. Was that the tag they put on Jay's head? Allegedly. Obviously, when there are cases of retaliations and revenge, people wouldn't do it in Lancashire, where they all have been charged by the court of law. They all were under probation or some were charged for A-class rugs. But still, they decided maybe to take it out of Lancashire, Tenerife, that is a corrupted place allegedly. Could that be possible? Just a question. From the very beginning of this case, I always believed it was about revenge. Because we cannot ignore the fact of someone's past. As a licensed mental health counsellor, we believe that the past, present and future is equally important. Let me know what you'll think in the comments. Rest in peace, Jay. May justice be served for you.